So last class, good morning students. Last class we have seen about special function registers of timer and counter. So one is T mod, timer mode register, another one is timer control register, that is TCON. So T mod register is mainly used for setting various timer modes. Both timer 0 and timer 1 use same T mod register. So upper 4 bits of T mod register are used for timer 1, while lower 4 bits are used for timer 0. So gate is bit is mainly for starting or stopping your timer either in hardware mode or software mode, and C bar T is for counter or timer selection, and M1 and M0 for mode selection, different mode selections. We have three modes: 13-bit timer mode, 16-bit timer mode, and 8-bit auto reload. So in mode 1, it's a 13-bit timer mode. So in this mode, 8 bits are used for either timer or counter, while 5 bits are used for prescaler. So prescaler is used for reducing high frequency clock signal to some low frequency signal. And mode 1 is the 16-bit timer or counter. In this case, there is no prescaler circuit, and 16 bits are used for either timer or counter operation. And mode 2 is 8-bit auto reload mode. So here 8 bits are used by timer, while other 8 bits hold the reload value, that is the original value. So when timer overflow flag is set, reload value is automatically loaded. And split timer mode, so 16-bit timer can act as two different 8-bit timers. Okay. So have you completed your homework problem? So what is the answer for first one? Mode, that is move T mod comma hash 01. So what is the answer? So you have to identify which mode and which timer are selected for the following. Mode move T mod comma hash 01. Okay, Magita. So 01, mode 0, timer 0 is selected. Okay. 20, mode 2, timer 1 is selected. Okay. And third one, mode 2 of timer 0 and mode 1 of timer 1 are selected. Okay. Alauddin, mode 1, software instruction, timer operation. Okay, very good. So remaining students, have you all completed the homework problem? Venkataramani also has replied, mode 1 of timer. Okay. See, listen, first instruction is move T mod comma hash 01. Move T mod comma hash 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So here timer 0 is selected. So what is this one? M1, M0. And this is C bar T, and this is gate. Timer 1 is not selected in this case. Okay. So here 0, 0 means 13-bit timer. 0, 1, 16-bit timer. 1, 0, 8-bit auto reload. 1, 1, split timer mode. So look at here, this is 0, 1. So your timer is running in which mode? So your timer is running in mode 1. Okay. So your instruction move tmod comma hash 0, 1. After that, you have to start your timer tr0. So these two instructions should be incorporated in order to run your timer. So C bar, why C bar T is 0? Because here timer operation is selected. If it is 1, counter operation is selected. And most of our program, you make this G bit is 0. Using software instruction only, we can start and stop the timer. So make this bit is always 0. So here G is 0, C bar T is 0, and 0, 1 is selected. So mode 1 is selected for your first problem and timer 0 selected. So these two instructions should be incorporated. Okay. So what is the next one? Move tmod hash 20. So hash 20 means 0, 0, 1, 0. Remaining all bits are 0. So which mode is selected? Please tell me. 1, 0. 1, 0 means 8-bit auto reload and timer operation is enabled. G bit is 0. So here your timer 0 is not selected, timer 1 is selected. So what are the instructions to be incorporated? Move tmod comma hash 20 set bit tr1. So that is the answer for your second problem. Is that clear, students? Is that clear? Okay. So what is the third problem? What is the third problem? So who is willing to answer this? You can unmute and tell the answer. Venkat Ramani. So what is the answer for third one? Move tmod comma hash 12.
Yes, ma'am. First, we should have to convert hexa to binary, ma'am. For
Yes.
that, 0010.
Okay.
First, we should see the timer one more. Timer 1.
Okay.
So it's mode 1 because
Okay.
the MSB 01.
0, 1. Okay. M1,
Yes.
M0, 0, 1. So mode 1.
Mode
16
1 is
timer
selected.
mode is selected. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And then in timer 0, mode 2 is selected because the 1 0. M1 and M0 is 1 0.
So it is in timer operation or counter operation?
It's a timer operation.
Timer. What is the reason? Your C bar T is equal to 0 here.
0. Yes,
so your this model is configured as timer now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm having one doubt, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, in our first two sums, in 0 0 0 is there, right, ma'am?
Yes.
For that, we should consider as a mode 0 and mode 0.
For that case only, actually during the execution of tmod, your microcontroller doesn't know which timer should be started. Okay. So that case, we have to include set bit instruction. Based on instruction, it will start the timer. So first problem, move tmod comma hash 0, 1. Okay. Already you said 0, 0 means mode 0 was selected. Okay. So during the execution of T mode, your microcontroller will not know about which timer gets started. Okay. So next instruction, it will look into the next instruction. What is the next instruction? Set bit TR0. Okay. So when set bit TR0 means your microcontroller will look at the lower order bits of your T mod register, not higher order.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Set bit TR0 கொடுத்தோன்னு என்ன பண்ணும்னா it will look at the lower order. MSB refer பண்ணாது. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா your timer 0 gets started.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So after initializing tmod, you have to define your timer start instruction. Timer 0, you have to specify either timer 0 or timer 1. Based on that instruction only, the microcontroller will start the timer.
Okay.
Is that clear? Any other doubts? So what is the second problem? Configure timer 0 as counter. Timer 0 as counter in 8-bit auto reload. Find TMOD value. So timer 0 as counter. So M1, M0, C bar T gate. Okay. This is for timer 0. So 8-bit auto reload. So M is 1, M0 is 0. So you have to configure this timer 0 as counter. Or C bar T is going to be 1 here. And this is 0. What about remaining 4 bits of your TMOD? All will be 0. So what is the answer? What is the answer? 0, 6. Okay. So first instruction, move TMOD, comma, #06. So next you have to start your timer 0. So set bit TR. So these two instructions are used to configure your timer 0 as counter in 8-bit auto reload. So all of you got the same answer for this? Yes or no? Zero 6 கிடைச்சதா உங்களுக்கு students? Okay. So what is the next one? Configure timer 1 as counter in 16-bit mode and timer 0 in 13-bit mode as timer. So what is the answer? What is TMOD value? What is TMOD value for this case? Configure timer 1 as counter in 16-bit timer mode. T0 in 13-bit timer as 13-bit mode as timer. 50 is the right answer. So what are the instructions to be incorporated? Please write the instructions. Move TMOD, comma, #50. So how to start the timer? So both the timers involved. Set bit TR1 and set bit TR0. Both should be incorporated. Set bit TR0 and set bit TR1. Okay. So timer 1 as counter in 16-bit mode. Okay. So your D7 bit 0. Okay. And T1 as counter. So your D6 bit is going to be 1 in 16-bit mode. Okay. 0, 1. And next one, timer 0 in 13-bit mode as timer. So So make gate bit 0 and C bar T 0 and 13-bit mode selection 0, 0. So what is the answer? 50. So the first instruction would be move T mod, comma, hash 50. And after that, you start both timers, TR0 and TR1. Here, T1 is configured as 16-bit counter and T0 is configured as 13-bit timer. Okay, is that clear? So set bit TR0, set bit TR1. Please note down the answers. So after loading your value into T mod, you have to start your timer using run control bit TR0 or TR1 based on your timer selection. Is that clear? Any doubts? Students, do you have any doubts? Shall we move on to the next register, TCON register? So now we shall see about timer control register. So here lower 4 bits of the registers are used for interrupt handling. That is your D0 to D4 used for interrupt handling. D0 to D4. Okay. And D5 to D7. That is your upper bits. So upper bits are used for timer operations. So lower 4 bits of this registers are used for interrupt handling. Upper 4 bits of timer control registers are used to control timer 0 and timer 1. So let's have a look on individual bits of this register. Okay. So first I will complete this one, interrupt handling. Okay. So this IE1, please note down the pin assignments. So this IE1 is external interrupt H flag 1 signal. So your 8051 has access to external interrupt through P3.3 and P3.2. So these two are alternate functions of port 3.3 and 3.2. So external interrupt 1 signal. And this is external interrupt 0 signal. Okay. So in 3.3, that is when high to low pulse is detected, so this IE1 is set to 1 when external interrupt is detected. When high to low pulse received at 3.3, this bit is set to 1. Similarly, when high to low pulse received at 3.2, this flag is set to 1, which means that the external interrupt is detected. So when the interrupt service is serviced, that is interrupt routine is serviced, it's automatically cleared by your 8051. Okay. So to indicate the interrupt occurrence, this IE1 and IE0 are utilized. Is that clear? So only two pins involved, 3.3 and 3.2. So when the external interrupt is detected, this bit is set to 1 and cleared by hardware when the interrupt is serviced. Okay. And next, IE1, IE0 over, next IT0 and IT1. So this IT1 is associated with this IE1. Similarly, this IT0 is associated with IE0. So what is IT0 means? It is used to specify edge triggering or level triggering interrupts. Okay. IT0, IT0, IT1. So IT0 is for P3.2 and IT1 is for P3.3. Okay. Suppose if this IT0 and IT1 is equal to 1, means to specify falling edge. 0 means to specify low level edge. So we have two types of triggering, edge triggering and level triggering. Okay. So edge triggering means only the device will recognize the clock at the edge of clock pulse. That is called edge triggering, falling edge triggering. And low level triggering means this device will recognize the clock at the level of the clock pulse. So the interrupt can be detected either by edge triggering or level triggering. So that can be specified by using this IT0 and IT1. Is that clear? So every interrupt signal is associated with one clock pulse. So external peripherals can interrupt the microcontroller through this P3.3 and P3.2, and the configuration can be set by, that is edge triggering and level triggering can be set by IT0 and IT1. When IT0 and IT1 is equal to 0 means your 8051 will recognize the interrupt signal at the edge of clock. Suppose if it is 0, it will recognize the interrupt signal at the level of clock pulse. Is that clear? So in this register, D0 to D4 are representing your interrupt handling. So two external interrupts can be accepted by your microcontroller through your P3.3 and 3.2. So when 3.3, the interrupt signal is detected means your IE1 is equal to 1. That is your IE1 is going to be 1. Suppose when the signal is detected at P3.2, IE0 is going to be 1. And clock selection can be done by IT0 and IT1. So using these two bits, we can specify either edge triggering or level triggering. If it is 1, your device will recognize the clock at the edge of the clock signal, otherwise level of the clock signal. Any doubts? Do you understand the concepts? IE0, IE1, IT0 and IT1. Is that clear? Students? Yes or no? Please tell me. Okay.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
And then for positive and negative pulse checking, how is it checked?
Your 8051 will not recognize positive and negative. It will work only for level and edge, for external interrupts alone. Okay. So we will see them in detail in the following lectures. In interrupt handling topic, we will see individual bits in detail. So, next we are going to concentrate on D5 to D7. So what are the bits involved? Your run control bit, TR0 is for your timer, 0, and flag associated with your timer 0 is TF0. Similarly for timer 1 run control bit TR0 and overflow flag for timer 1 is TF1. Okay. So what is TR? TR is the run control bit. So we have two run control bit, TR0 and TR1. And TR0 is for timer bar counter 0 and TR1 is for timer or counter 1. So this TR is set by user or programmer to turn timer or counter on or off. Okay. So as already I told, when TR0 is equal to 0 means your timer gets stopped. Okay. TR1 is equal to 1 means gets started. So it will control the timer activity, timer operation. It will control entire timer operation. When TR is equal to 1 means your timer gets started, otherwise gets stopped. Okay. Next we will see about TF0 and TF1. So what is TF0 and TF1? So TF means overflow flag. Okay. Suppose when timer reaches maximum count and rolls over, this flag bit is set. Okay. For your 16-bit timer, the starting value 0, 0, 0. The maximum value F, F, F. Okay. So when timer reaches the maximum value, or overflow flag is set to 1. So with help of this overflow, actually it is going to represent the overflow status of timer. Okay. When reaches the maximum value and on receiving one more clock pulse, your all ones are replaced by 0. That is called rollback. Okay. That case your overflow flag is set to 1. So it is like a carry flag. Originally this is 0. When rolls over to 0, 0 to FF in case of 16-bit timer, this flag is set to 1. Okay. For 13-bit timer, 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1 FF. When rolls over from this value to all 0, your overflow flag is set to 1. In 8-bit timer, from 0, 0 to FF, overflow flag is set to 1. Assume I have 4-bit counter. It starts from 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, for example. So after receiving one more clock pulse, the timer again starts from 0. So whenever this condition happens, that is 4 ones to 4 0, that state is called overflow state. Similarly, all ones to 0, 1 FF to 0, that condition is called overflow state condition. So that case, your TF is equal to 1. So TF is equal to 0 means your maximum value is not reached. When TF is equal to 1, the maximum value is reached. So every timer is associated with one flag. For timer 0, TF0, timer 1, TF1, in order to indicate the overflow of timer 0 and timer 1. That's all about TF0 and TF1. So take on the lower 4 bits for interrupt and higher 4 bits for timer 0 and timer 1. So we are going to concentrate only on MSB in case of your timer models. So TR0 and TR1 is these two bits for starting and stopping the timer, that is run control bit of timer 0 and timer 1. And these two, that is TF0 and TF1, are used to indicate overflow flag status. So please note down some of the instructions involved in timer control register. So this is your D0, T7. Okay. So set bit TR0. So what is the bit number? 4th bit. T0, D1, D2, D3, D4. So you can use either this instruction or this instruction. Set bit TCON 0.4. And clear TR0, clear TCON 0.4. So TCON register is bit addressable register. So we can access individual bits. Set bit TF0. TF0 is your 5th bit of TCON. Okay. So set bit TCON 0.5. Next, clear TCON 0.5. For timer 1, set bit TR1 or set bit TCON 6. Clear TCON 6. Similarly, for overflow, set bit TCON 0.7, clear TCON 0.6. Either you can use this instruction or this one. Both are same. So these 4 instructions are very important. That is set bit, clear, that is run control bit, and overflow flag. Setting and clearing. So this is the logic diagram of your entire timer and counter model. So this is the internal hardware diagram. So we have 2 switches. So this switch will decide counter or timer operation. And this switch will decide a hardware way of starting timer or software way of starting timer. Okay. Suppose if your timer model, please look at here, if the timer model gets clock pulses from your external, that is external clock oscillator, means your timer is in, timer or counter is in timer mode. That is timer mode is selected. So that case C bar T is equal to 0. Suppose if your timer model gets clock pulses from 3.4 and 3.5, means it is in counter mode. That case your C bar T is equal to 1. Nithilakshmi, class Nithilakshmi, go for 2 minutes. So C bar T is equal to 0 and C bar T is equal to 1. So these 2 selections can done by using this particular switch. So next switch is for hardware way of starting timer or software way of starting timer. Okay. When G is equal to 0, so the timer starting is hardware or software? Starting or stopping? So how to start and stop the timer? Where G is equal to 0. Hardware way or software way when G is equal to 0? Software way. Okay. Software. So in using software to start and stop the timer, where gate is equal to 0. Okay. So when gate is equal to 0, the output of this NOT gate here 1. And this should be 0. So our INT 0 pins 0. Okay. So the start and stop of the timer are controlled by software by using run control bits only. Okay. Not from external pins 3.2 and 3.3. Okay. So this bit is 0. So what is the output here? 1. And run control bit is always 1. So 1 plus 1, output will be 1. The switch gets closed, your timer gets started. So that is the operation in case of gate 0. Please look at this diagram. So here run control bit always 1. When gate bit is 0, this is going to be 1. So here inverter, your output 1, 1, sorry, here this is 0. 1, 0, 1, 1, both are 1, your output will be 1. So it's down, the switch gets closed, so timer is enabled to count. Suppose if the gate is 1, zero here, okay? Here 1, your external interrupt pin is 1. Once again. 0, 1, your output is 1, run control bit is 1. So this switch gets closed and timer is enabled to count. So this is a combination. Please read out the statement. Gate is 0 means that is internal control. That is using software instruction, your timer operation can be controlled. That is start and stop the timer are controlled by way of software. And set or clear the run control bit for start and stop timer. When gate is 1, external control. So hardware way of starting and stopping the timer by software along with external source. So here TR0 should be enabled, must be enabled. That is TR0 or TR1 along with your external interrupt signal IT0 and IT1. So timer counter is enabled only this INT pin is high and run control pin is set. Okay. So example, assume 8051 is used to in a product to sound an alarm. Okay. Using any timer, either timer 0 or timer 1. So timer is turned on by using software instruction. That is by using set bit TR0 or set bit TR1 instruction, and is beyond the control of user of that product. A switch should be connected to pin 3.2 can be used to turn on and turn off the timer. Okay, so external switch should be connected. So that switch will control your timer or counter model. So here, please read the statement. In using software to start and stop the timer, where G is equal to 0. So start and stop of the timer are controlled by way of software by run control bits. Okay. For set bit and clear bit instruction. Suppose when gate is equal to 1 in the TMOD register, the start and stop of the timer are done externally through 3.2 and 3.3. These two are external interrupt signals. Pin 3.2 and 3.3 for timer 1 respectively. So this hardware way allows to start and stop the timer externally at any time via simple switch. Is that clear? So when gate is 1, INT 0 also 1, okay, and run control bit 1. So the output of AND gate is 1. This switch gets closed and the timer is enabled to start the clock, start counting the clock pulses. please note down the statement. These two statements are very important. So gate is equal to 0 means that is internal control, and gate is equal to 1 means external control. So external, your timer and counter is enabled only while INT pin is high and run control pin is high. So these two conditions should be satisfied. Any doubts up to this? So do you have any doubts regarding G bit? So G bit is 1 means your timer start or stop is controlled by both run control bit of TCON register as well as external interrupt input. Okay. Suppose if the gate bit is 1 means the timer operation is controlled by run control bit of your timer. So both run control bit of TCON register and external hardware interrupt inputs are active means your G bit is equal to 1. Is that clear? So how your timer model works? So first, timer starts when run control bit of TCON register is set. So timer based on clock pulse input, timer counts up to maximum value. For 13-bit timer, 0x 1 triple F, 16-bit timer 4x. For 8-bit timer, this is not 0f, ff. Okay. So timer flag is set when timer rolls over from maximum count to 0. So when TI flag is set to 1, user has to clear that flag in order to repeat the operation. Okay. And timer may be stopped by clearing run control bit of TCON register. So these are the procedure to be followed in your timer 8051 timer models. So first I will explain this timer mode 1. So timer mode 1 is the 16-bit timer. Actually it is incremented continuously when run control bit is set to 1. So the initial value is 000 and the clock pulses arrive. So your timer value gets incremented. So after reaching the maximum value, it rolls back to 0. That case, your overflow flag is set to 1. So programmer should check TF not. Once it is set means programmer should stop the timer. So the first step, you have to find the Tmod value. You have to set your mode of your timer. So load that Tmod. Second step, start your timer using this instruction. And third step, using jump no bit instruction, continuously monitor overflow flag status. When overflow flag is set to 1, you stop the timer and clear the overflow flag. So these steps should be incorporated for your timer operations. So according to our side, we have to monitor the TF naught continuously in case of timer 0. In case of timer 1, monitor TF. So these are programming procedure for timer mode 1. Please note down this diagram. Timer 0, mode 1, 16-bit counter or timer. So 2 switches, C bar T, and this is for hardware and software way. Okay, run control bit is always 1. When gate is 0, output will be 1. Here 0, 0, 1. So the timer gets started. Suppose if it is 1, this will be 0, and this is 1, your output will be 1, 1. These two always 1. Output is 1, your timer gets started. So 8 bits, 8 bits. TL0 holds 8 bits, TH0 holds your upper 8 bits. Timer means it will get the clock pulses from digital oscillator, otherwise it will get the clock pulses from timer 0 pin or timer 1 pin. So please note down the steps involved in programming mode 0. So already I have explained. So select your mode and find out the T-mod value and load your TH and TL with some initial value and start the timer and rolls over. That is, suppose you have to monitor your overflow flag. If it is 1, programmer should clear TR, that is stop your timer and clear your overflow flag and go to step 2 in order to repeat the same process. Please note down the steps. So next class we will see some example, programming example of timer 1 operation. That is timer mode 1 operation. And this is the algorithm to generate time delay using mode 1. So already I have explained this. So load T-mod value, load your registers, start the timer, monitoring the overflow flag. If it is raised, get out of the loop and stop the timer, clear the overflow flag. So these steps are very important in order to generate time delay using mode 1 programming. Next class I will explain mode 1 programming with one example. And also I will explain how to calculate time delay. Any doubts? So please download this calculator. So it is available in Google, calculator for 8051. So this calculator is mainly designed for timer operation. So here 4 modes are given, mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2. So using this calculator, we can calculate initial value of timer for all your time, square wave and baud rate. Suppose I am selecting square wave. So I want to generate 2 kilohertz square wave. So it's automatically find the initial value of timer 1A because I have selected mode 2 and also it will generate code. You can either C code or assembly code will be generated. Suppose I am changing this mode, 16-bit timer mode. So the value is now 16-bit value, FF1A. So these value, that is 1A should be loaded into lower order register and FF should be loaded into higher order register. Please download this calculator. Please note the calculator for 8051 family by Kaushik BM.